All right, great to be with everybody here again. Today we're going to talk about to mask or not to mask. That is the question. The gist is we need to wear masks. For some reason, this is still considered controversial in our country. I'm still going out and not seeing people wearing masks. There's still different physician organizations saying maybe we don't have to worry about it. Hopefully, after you hear this will be you'll realize when you go out in public, we should all be wearing masks at this stage. I think that is pretty incontrovertible, and this is all about that. At the very bottom, there'll be the link that will have the article that this information comes from. So if you want to get more information, it'll be available below. I think one thing that's really interesting in the COVID-19 survival guide that I put out this past week, one of my key points was wearing masks on that. I've been talking about it a little bit, and we're going to talk about that a little bit today. So the basic gist of what this article talks about is that when we breathe, there's three major points. The first of all is when we breathe, just me talking right now. If you were here in front of me, I would be spreading small air particles of saliva, which is kind of gross to think about 3 to 6 feet out. So we would need to be back quite a bit if I didn't want my basically salivary particles landing on you. When we cough, we spread particles up to 19 feet. 19 feet. So basically, if you're in the room with someone and they cough, if you sneeze, when you aerosolize particles, okay, that's even smaller, they're spread about 26 feet. So if someone sneezes, the rooms in my house are not 20, don't have 26 feet. That's pretty big. That's a huge room. If you're in the room with someone and they sneeze, then you're going to get exposed to particles. The point is that social distancing is not 100% effective. I can be 6 feet away from you, but if you sneeze and I'm in the room, I'm likely going to be exposed to the particles in the air. This is where masks become important because they not only block they not only protect me from breathing in particles in the air and particulates and aerosolized particles, but they keep you from spreading your stuff. And that might be the benefit with these things, is not so much me not breathing your stuff in, but you not spreading the stuff out. So facial coverings, anything that covers your mouth is going to slow the velocity of these particles. We've seen them recommending in New York City just to cover your mouth with something, anything, a bandana. Why? Well, just something over your mouth will slow the air velocity and diminish particularization. When you sneeze, you're having a faster velocity air than when you cough. And when I talk, it's even slower. So that's the difference between the 6 feet versus the 19 feet versus the 26 feet. And if you cover your mouth with something, you're gonna diminish that. You can make these. There's actually a lot of people are making these, which is fine. Actually, one of my patients were taking HEPA filters for vacuum cleaners, and then making masks and using these little metal bendy things. The masks were actually really good quality. But the ideal mask is an N95 mask. That's going to reduce about 99.9% of both the particle spread and the exposure. So when we talk about droplets, these droplets being spread, they're usually about 5 to 10 microns in size, and this is a arbitrary cutoff. Now, to put that in perspective, a red blood cell is about 8 microns in size. So these are pretty small things when you make these droplets. An aerosolized particle is less than 5 microns. Whenever you sneeze or cough, you have both of these. Sneezing will have more aerosolized stuff. Coughing will have more particles, but there's going to be both of those. And maybe this is the reason why this disease is spreading so quickly, is because of the just the physics of particles and how these things are spread. So a question some people have asked that's been answered is, how long do droplets stay in the air? When you have a droplet, when you cough and you make those things that spread that 19 feet, those will stay in the air for a few minutes and they'll drop out. When you sneeze and produce the small aerosols, those can actually stay in the air for hours, and that's where it gets kind of tricky. Where air systems, convection systems, HVAC systems. There was some debate initially whether some of the disease on some of the cruise ships was being spread through the air ducts, and basically people were kind of like, that's not really the case. Well, from some of this new information with the way these aerosolized particles, maybe that is the case. Particularly if a place is poorly ventilated, that could be the case. Point is that the only way to really protect yourself is not just social distancing. It's going to be a mask if you're in the grocery store or anywhere else. And these small residue of droplets can stay in these little nuclei suspended in the air for up to 3 hours. So literally, you could be walking down an aisle somewhere and someone sneezed, 20, 30 minutes before you, and now you're walking through this dusting, so to speak, of their aerosolized droplets. What does that mean? It means if you go out, wear a facial covering of some sort, get an N95 mask. I know that's controversial, but when I go out, I wear mine. When my son went out with me to get some takeout the other day, he had his on as well. We just have them around the house because, well, one, because I'm a physician, I have them at the office, but two, because I use them for any kind of work around the house, crawl space, etc. So what does this mean? We want good ventilation. You want to make sure you're moving air in the rooms. You want HEPA filters. Now, HEPA filters, something else I mentioned in the COVID-19 survival guide. I actually have HEPA filters in my office and all my exam rooms. In my home, I have HEPA filters in all the kids' bedrooms as well as in our main living space. A standard HEPA filter will move a particle down to 0.3 microns. Okay, so that's going to move most of the aerosolized particles. And that's the minimum classification for HEPA filters. So any true HEPA filter, you can go to Costco online, buy a typical HEPA filter, and get down to this 0.3 microns. Now, there are high quality HEPA filters, ultra HEPA filters. Those are the kind of ones that I have in their bedrooms in our house. They're more expensive in my office at work. Those can filter down to 0.003 microns. So what does this mean? Basically, viruses, bacteria, VOCs, mold, the large majority of these things will attach to particles in the air. And if you remove particles, you can remove 99.999% of the stuff in the air you don't want to get exposed to, especially virions attached to particles. So a good, decent HEPA filter will do this for you. There are a bunch of different manufacturers that do this. Austin Air is a decent one. That's what I actually have at home. I have Aeroasis at work. That's a specialized HEPA filter, air ionizer, as well as UV light. But the same thing, you can just get a good HEPA filter at Costco. That's going to get 99.9% of what you want done. If you want 99.999%, then you're going to have to, that's the difference between a $120 filter and a $500 filter, basically. So we mentioned that before. So these are some information about dust particles, air particles. Hopefully this was helpful. The gist of this is if you don't want to get exposed to this, you need a mask, facial covering. Surgical mask is acceptable. The optimal is N95. Hopefully whenever our social distancing is relaxed a little bit, we'll have enough of these N95 masks available that everybody can have them when we start reintroducing ourselves to society and culture. Anyway, I hope this information was helpful. As new updates come out, we'll continue to update you all. I'm continuing to check the literature as well as look at and see what people are concerned about. We'll be doing a live question and answer session later on. If you follow us on social media, you'll be notified of that when it goes out. I'm not quite sure when this will be going out. If this was helpful, please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, like us, give us a 5-star rating. That just makes this information easier for other people to find. And otherwise, also as well, a COVID-19 guide is now out there. It's on the website, richmondfunctionalmedicine.com. You can download that. We're making more resources available as we have time to do them. I'm still working full time. My wife, who's helping with all this, is educating our children as well as trying to do this. So we're doing the best we can. But hopefully this stuff is helpful and useful. And I hope you all have a great day. Take care.